recorded, so we can direct the there itself, and you have to download the video within 30 days, not more. As soon as we complete class, you can download the video, and you can go to the video. If you have any questions, you can put in the WhatsApp.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. So, Mokshit, like we will start. Mokshit, you are on speaker, right?
Yeah,
Laptop speaker. Okay, can you have
yeah.
earphones? Like probably that would help.
Put earphones, Mokshit. Because we are getting some echo. Whenever you speak, the same voice again it is repeated. Or else you can rejoin.
Now it's connected.
Earphones connected?
Now it's connected.
Yes.
Sure,
Now,
it seems
now
to
we
be
are
connected. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ganesh. Yeah, thank you, Mokshit. Yeah. So, you're able to see my screen now, right? So we will start with what exactly the O365, and we'll start with introduction today. So, firstly, what is O365 and why exactly, we are discussing about this? So, why it is being used by most of the companies? So, any inputs from your end, like Mokshit?
Yeah, and today only I seen that Office 365 and Microsoft 365 is same, right? He said in my 365 have some more future.
Yeah, O365,
But
Office 365, and Microsoft 365 is the same thing. But Microsoft 365, something is this, like this is Azure dashboard that I was showing, but I was actually searching before, to show you this. But this is a O365. This is the only one, Office 365. So they again renamed it as O365 is something which has complete mechanism of managing the users in the organization. So O365 is the updated version of Microsoft Exchange Online. So before this, like there was Microsoft Exchange Online, wherein wherein users admins was able to install it on the bare metal machines on the on-premise devices, and then they were able to configure all the users and whatever the email box says. It was not this completely set up whatever you see. There was no Teams, there was no Skype, and there was no there was only thing, like there was even users were not able to log into web console. If they wanted to configure or download any emails, they are must and should need to configure in the Outlook. Like you have configured the Outlook, you have configured the emails in the Outlook, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you will have to give the SMTP server and inbound server, outbound server, and username, password. So that was the scenario previously. So later, Office 365 again, got a revolution stating that on premises is done, and cloud has got up into a new revolution. Then Microsoft completely bumped up their environment, O365 environment, into Exchange environment, into O365, which is called Office 365. So once Office 365 is came into online, people started using it. So advantages of O365 is, you can, first thing is, you can use over the anywhere in the world. You don't need any kind of VPN, or you don't need any kind of network kind of requirements. It only needs the internet, as similar to Gmail. So previously it
Mhm.
was not something like that. So it was only something, only license based, wherein when they wanted to configure any kind of O365, sorry, Microsoft Exchange Online, like they were actually required to purchase some license, which is called CAS, cost per usage, and then like they were able to do it. But the advantage was users were able to create in the on premises with integration of Active Directories, and there were integrations within AD and O360 Exchange Online. But the problem was, like, user storage was not into storing into, uh, any kind of data center or any kind of online. So whenever user lost any kind of mailbox, so in the Outlook you'll have two storage files. Are you aware about these storage files?
Uh,
One is
Two
OST,
storage
the other one
files.
is PST. Yeah, one is
Yeah,
OST
yeah, that one.
and the
PST, no?
PST. Yeah.
OST and
So,
PST, yeah.
so OST is like, it's like a cache system. Whenever user just deletes his profile in the Outlook, so OST file also gets deleted. Whenever, but the
Okay.
PST file remains in C folder somewhere. Like, I don't remember the location now. Similarly, like, but whenever user, even the PST files would have, get into corrupted, and there are a lot of, this kind of issues coming up. So users were like, the organizations were struggling with the data. But when the all the solution, like, the solution for all this kind of troubleshooting issues and problems, O365 has given an answer stating that, like, wherever you go, you can log in, like, as similar to as Gmail. So then, like,
Yeah.
again, coming to something like, even Exchange Online was there, Skype was also there, Skype for Business. And later they have integrated the O3, Skype for Business in O365 as well. And then users were able to, directly log in. They don't need to give input, like, inbound server, outbound server, any kind of, like, any SMTP server. They don't need to bother of any kind of issues. And later, like, they have integrated kind of lot of, Microsoft Dynamics and SharePoint, lot of things in the, O365, that gave a very good solutions to all the users actually. So I'll just, like, this is just an introduction today. So I'll just show you, like, how to exactly log in, and you can create one test account as well. Let me just pull up that. I'm just checking with one of the credentials. Just give me 2 minutes. So basically you have to go to this link. Okay, I'm just sharing you this in the Skype. So this would ask you a couple of questions, actually the details. So then you have to add some, this probably this will give you some 30 days trial period as well. Okay.
Okay.
Parallelly, I'm trying it from my end to create. But make sure, like, when you're giving your details, because that would actually charge you some amount. But for 1 month, like, that wouldn't be a challenge actually. That wouldn't charge extra amount for you. Are you able to access that link?
Yeah, here I have to do. I have to create. Huh?
Yeah, you have to create. You have to give some. You can give some Gmail or anything, and then probably that would actually require one uh, domain as well. I'll give you the domain if it asks you. Give,
Actually, I have that Outlook.com. This one is there. I think. 15 GB trial version.
but don't
That
use
is
that.
fine.
Okay, so
For
don't
creating.
use that personal account. So because use some, create some temporary account. Okay, so
Okay.
once you're done,
Mm.
but make sure, like, just you have uh, just a separate email for it.
Mm. Here at I've given my name at which one I have to put
You can give anything,
uh,
like just create a, get a new email.
Microsoft.com. Huh?
Yeah, anything, like anything that really doesn't make any difference. You just give one Outlook email and then just give something. That's it. It only needs like information. That's it. Just give normal details and just sign up. Just let me know, like, if you are able to create. If not, like, I can try to do something else from my end.
1 minute. I'll share this. Mm. It's not taking.
What is the error like that you are getting?
I created puzzle and all. It is showing. Then it comes to normal page.
Okay.
I
Is it
solved the
giving
puzzle.
any is it giving any error for you?
It didn't show me.
I cannot use this. So you need to choose India before there, like if you have India there, or else like you may need to choose any other country.
Okay. System.
They've actually changed the UI a lot actually. So try this account. So I'm just sharing a link now. So just click on it. Choose the basic option actually. Okay.
I share that link.
Yeah, I'm just sharing that.
Oh, no. Here I have to go to buy now. Where
Yeah,
I have
first one you need to choose. The $6 one is there, right? So that one you need to choose. So that should give you this kind of screen actually. The screen that you're seeing, right? So that should give you this kind of screen. So when you're done, like that should actually should take you to payment as well, ask you for a payment. And for 145 per user for something it will ask.
okay.
You may need to
I
add
come to
your
mm,
payment screen as well. So when you're done, so that will give you all kind of professional email and all the like this will have very basic, but this is more enough for for practicing this.
oh here I click on that $6 that one is there right.
Okay, do one thing.
Here it is
Do one thing.
asking.
Just do one thing. Just share your screen.
Screen is screen is visible.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah.
Here I have to choose.
I'm not able to see your screen. Have you shared your screen?
Yeah.
I'm not able to see. When I'm also getting new to this environment, Skype.
Now is it is visible?
No. No.
Now also no. Shit. Here it is shared. Here it is showing stop sharing like this.
Okay, but for some reason, like I don't see that.
Just stop your screen sharing and let me try.
Sure. I think it is stopped now. I just stopped. Are you able
I
to
think
see?
your screen also. Huh?
Are you still able to see my screen? No, right?
No. Here no.
Then like
Now it is
so.
also not visible. Huh?
Yeah. So okay, I'll show you like okay from normally. Okay, so what you need to do here, like just see my screen. Okay, I'm just sharing again my screen. So you're able to see my screen now, right? Like this is this. So
Yeah.
so you need to click on buy one here. Try for 1 month.
Okay.
Okay, click on it.
Okay. Okay.
And this.
Okay.
So I'm already logged in on this. So it is asking me to giving me my credentials. You need to click on continue. And then
I have to give my email ID there. For me, it is asking. It's, let's get your started like it is showing and email ID. It is required like this. It is showing same thing, right? For
no, you
starting.
don't need any kind of domain or anything for this. Gmail is more than enough for this. Okay. Just click on like, on this, and so that will give you this kind of screen. So once you are done, so
Mm.
you'll be asked for payment kind of details. Okay. So
Okay.
it will probably charge you like, a 1 rupee or somewhere, but it will just return. So once you're done, like on this, it will be done. So you need to give this, fill out these details, and that will just create. Just let me know if you anywhere kind of find any kind of issues. Just let me know when you're, came to payment page, and you should see some amount like 144.
Okay.
So once you're done, like you will be able to see all this, like the option that you're able to see on my screen. You will be able to see users, and you'll be able to see groups, roles, billing, and this kind of stuff.
Okay, this one I already saw on YouTube channel.
Hmm.
Ah, here you have to go to users. Huh? Add users.
You're done.
Yeah, I'm doing. Company name and all is not required. Right?
Not required. Choose on option personal. You'll see an option there for personal, so you can try that option even. So if you choose again company name, that will ask you some company details like PAN, company related details. So don't go there.
Here it is only as sign in details. Sir, actually, I mean Microsoft 365 Business Basic option is there, right? Here
Mm-hmm.
it is asking about you, and I entered my name and surname everything.
Mm-hmm.
But here it is asking company name. This is required like it is showing.
Company name you can enter randomly any domain. If you have any domain, like you can randomly give that. That's not mandatory. But if you wanted to configure the mail, then you need that name should be exactly matched with the domain. So you can give randomly anything. Okay.
Mhm.
So if I show you something, like I've just given something just randomly. Okay. My Gmail ID, like that's more enough actually.
Actually, I am put here outlook.com. Is it fine?
Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't make any
Fine,
difference.
fine.
Like that doesn't happen. That doesn't make any problem.
There are here it is asking security check. Mm,
Security check.
yeah.
Security check. Security check or security code. Have you reached that payment page that I've shown to you?
No, no.
Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll just share one Gmail. One second. Let me just pull out here. Don't have anything. Okay. Let's do that tomorrow. Excuse me. So you still there or like you got some way?
Now I am doing that
Okay.
signing.
Okay.
My name and all it is asking.
Hmm. So you can do that. Okay. We'll just finish it up. Like you can do it later. So you now
Okay.
got to know like that you'll find like,
Okay.
but we'll
If I
just
any doubt
explore
means
like,
I will ask tomorrow.
sure, sure. But okay, before that, like we'll just take the introduction of this, like admin console. Okay, this will have, since this is a basic Office 365 basic version, business basic license. So we are getting very minimal kind of features. But when you go for enterprise or E5 license, kind of, you would see a lot many options. So in that, like primarily like if you go to any kind of subscription or license, like whatever so called, whatever you call, so these options are mandatory options like users, home, groups, roles, billing, support, and you'll have like security, compliance, this kind of like all admin center, this kind of these are reports, settings, and setup are all the these are all very mandatory and you'll see everywhere. Okay, so what exactly the users are something like you can create the users whenever a new joins into a company, so that person actually requires a separate email address, right? So to do that, whatever whenever what the organizations does is first they create this kind of environment with any email address, and then they'll integrate when they configure that mail exchange. So to in order to configure the mail, so you need to have a dedicated kind of domain. So domains can be purchased from any other you know uh, domain providers, let's say
Got it.
Hostinger
Right, right.
or GoDaddy or anyone. So you can get cheaper domains in the Hostinger. You can try that, even getting it for 150 or 200. Okay, so after that what they do is like they can create some stating that require some x.com y.com emails. So those users will be accommodated under this section called active users. So you'll also have the deleted users. So users, when you're okay, what does the active users will have? So active users will consist of any user that is not deleted. So it doesn't make any difference whether user has the license or not. Okay, so user even considered as even if user has a license, he's considered as active user. User doesn't have any license, considered as active users. So whenever you delete an user, that user will be moved to deleted users. Okay, so guest users are like ephemeral, like you can give users stating that they're very, let's say your company has some any visitors from any partners or any other consultants comes from outside, right? So for them you can accommodate them with the guest user IDs. And next you will see groups. Okay, why exactly the groups you will have? So groups is a concept wherever you go. It actually starts from Microsoft Windows Active Directory. So whatever you see here, like users, roles, groups. So those are very common in Microsoft environment. So these groups, even like even you have a fleet of users, let's say a fleet in the sense like you have some 100 users or 50 users. So you wanted to some add them to some kind of role, so or add them into some email address. So how do you do that? Let's say you have some in Office 365 you will also have called shared mailbox. Let's say that shared mailbox need some group of users need to have access. How do you accommodate? So for an admin who is actually let's say you have 50 users in a company. So for you every time you wanted to create, you wanted to add some shared mailbox and add 50 users manually, that will be a very big task. So very huge task, right? So for those kind of bulky options, like whenever you do any kind of mass update, so groups will be a very good choice, whatever, like you think. So roles are something like roles are privileges. Let's say user comes, so user need to have a user privilege, so admin need to have a admin privilege. Those are the most common privileges. Okay, but other than that, what that role will consist of? So roles will consist of lot of you know let's say people. Let's say you have some, you hide some from third party, so you would probably require only kind of access to reset the password. So that like I will only give an access to reset the password. So and later let's say I got an access to uh, enhance your uh, role to some other, like grouping administrator or some other role, so I can actually accommodate all kind of activities using the roles. So billing will kind of have the information which is related to only the billings, like let's say purchase services. So whatever the products that you purchase licenses, that will be under the section called purchases. So products will have like what kind of products that Microsoft Office 365 is offers, and those products will be listed here, and you can also buy them. Okay.
Okay,
And
add them
license,
inside the
yeah,
product.
yeah. So and then you'll have subscriptions. So coming to licenses, okay, licenses are nothing. People call them as subscriptions and licenses. Those are different terms, like but though they bind only to one particular term, which is called license. So auto claim policy is like when you turn on this, so your licenses will be auto claimed. So whenever you create an user, so you don't need to manually assign the license to user. So whenever you create an user, that will automatically create get assigned the license as well. But these are like in real time environment, some middle managed companies wouldn't opt for this option. Only few companies, top companies, like who has good revenues, they actually opt for this option to get auto claim license option, because Microsoft licenses are huge when compared to any other competitor, like O3 is, sorry, uh, uh, Google G Suite, what Google Workspace. So or like any other providers, when you compare Zoho or any other provider. So Microsoft is compared, like comparatively price is very high. So and it has lot of like the license types of O365 has like multiple types. I'll show you that. So basically there were like the option, like these options. So E1 is very basic. E3 will have like very it will get off like so with Microsoft Teams and O365 online. But E5 is the top license, wherein you will have uh you know whenever you log in, let's say your laptop has some O365 installed, so you can activate your the license of the Outlook or Microsoft 365 by just logging into it with your email and password, email username and password. So E5 is the top license. It is very cost, but in real time, like it based on like based it depends on what kind of environment or what kind of user foot you are creating, and what kind of licenses and what kind of services that user requires. So that depends on like what kind of you actually choose in real time environment. So billing accounts, like billing accounts will have like you whenever, even now, like when you go ahead for go forward two steps, like probably you will be asked for to create a billing account. So billing account is common across all the cloud provider, irrespective of the you know uh, irrespective of the service, either it is a email service or like any cloud service, Azure, AWS, any kind of cloud. So billing account is mandatory, because billing account will consist of your credit card number, credit card details, and your username, password, and your address actually. So whenever you create, so your billing account will be assigned as default. Like if you see one billing account is added, like which is called this name and this is address, and you this account is active. So whenever you actually give any like any perform any details, like so amount will be deducted from that particular billing account. So you can choose the payment methods. These are all like you can self-explanatory on this. So most of the people like the best thing again like comes into picture, like so support comes. So Microsoft support is like very active. So you would see support response based on your priority. Like you are in support background itself, right? So you would have known like priorities P1, P2, P3, P4 kind of, right? So if Microsoft gives very good privilege to customers. So whenever ticket is gone, you raise a ticket, so they would probably get back on based on the priority. Like if it is P1 or P2, like they'll just get back in 15 minutes. Okay. So settings, these are the normal settings. Like if you have domain, so here into picture. So this domain is default domain. So if you have another any private domain, then you are required to create here. Like let's say I have a domain. So I'll just enter this. So use domain. So this will ask me to verify. So this will actually ask you to create a txt record. So it will this will generate a txt record. Let's see. So txt value, txt name.
TXT
So
in the sense,
txt is a verification code for any domain.
okay,
So
text name.
huh.
Uh,
So let's say 1 second. I'll just log into this. So you see two domains, right? One is expired. So if I go here, so by default, this will have this name server has some like some Google domains. So if it is something like here, like I wouldn't be able to do it anything here. So I'll just like for now, like I'll just remove this. So you'll have DNS options here. So previously it was managed by some other Google Cloud. So that's the reason like you didn't see any kind of this. So I've resetted it. So you'll have option called TXT. So TXT option you need to choose, and at the date you need to take the TXT value here. So TXT value here. TTL is 3600. TTL is time to live, like and add record.
after that, it will deactivate.
Verify. It will verify. Like it will verify the domain. So it will say probably this would take some time, like, and when it is done, you will be able to create the username using this domain. Let's say whatever the domain name is called cloud24.online. So you can create some mokshit at cloud24.online. You will have a domain here. So that's how the companies does that. You got a clarity, right?
No, one minute. You created one cloud.org, right? Cloud dot only
Sorry.
seen. If you are in on desktop, when you're creating, when you're setting the system, we are in computer name like that is coming right in system wise. There we have to choose this one, clouded.narayana. Before we are adding the domain,
I'll tell you one moment.
we are putting Narayana has dot.
Okay, I'll tell you something. Okay, so you are able to see the screen, right? And this part you are able to
Yeah,
you're right, and you have query only with the domains,
yeah,
right? So under the settings
yeah,
you'll
domains.
domains. Okay, under the domains I'll just remove this domain. You need to have, like, if you don't have a domain you can buy this, but don't do this, like it's not advisable. Just add domain. Okay, and give the domain name. Okay, domains can be purchased from outside, right? You're aware about this.
Ah,
So
yes, sir.
just take this, put it here. Okay. So use this domain. It's a consent. So when you do this, so it will ask like, it will give this option, verify
Yeah.
you own your domain. Okay. So whatever the domain that you are entered, like cloud24.online, so you are actually required to verify. Okay. So Microsoft generates a key. So add a txt file from domain. Like if you have already a txt file, then you need to add it here. If you can't add a txt record, add a mx record. Okay. This records, like probably we can discuss, further. Okay. But for now, like txt is a verification record. Okay. So when you click on continue, so this will generate some, you know domain, sorry, txt record, txt name, or at the rate, txt value should be there, and this. So if you txt value is enough for me, so I'll go to choose txt, and txt value is this. And so this, so when once if I add this, so record, dns record created successfully. So if I just verify, so this would take some time. So probably it would take some 24 hours or 8 hours, 5 hours. There is no guarantee for this how much time it would take, because this is a global function actually. So even when you reach to any support center, but this doesn't take much time, but this could take some time when you're doing from cross origin, let's say cross platform. So but if it is owned by Microsoft 365, Microsoft, then that would be, for Microsoft, it will be very easy to confirm that your domain is owned by this particular, you know uh, particular domain or particular owner. Okay. So it says something like, we requested these name servers. So it says like, it is currently what I've cleared here, right? So it is not completely cleared. So it was something previously Google's, right? So for me it is now asking like, you're required to these add this txt card at somewhere in the, Google domains. But that's not actually required because we have cleared it. And we have made use hosting our names record as us, to use that, right? So that would somewhere like, it would take some time actually for even hosting that doesn't remove completely. So that's the thing. And when you're done, like, you'll have connecting and finish domain, connect domain and finish, that's it. So this will actually end up your, configuring your domain. So from the next time you will be able to create active users, create any user
Activate
with
user.
create
Yes.
user using that particular domain. When you're done, your domain will list here,
Okay.
cloud24.com. So this is a default domain. Whenever you create any user, like, you'll get by default user. Okay. Yeah. And you'll have a lot of options, like we will probably, day by day increase, like, learn like what each service. Okay. So any queries on this?
Uh, I have one doubt. Here, active user is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Active user means it is a bulk users, right? We are creating the bulk
Mm-hmm.
users.
No. Okay. Active users is a section. Okay. Users is a
Ah,
section. Active users is a
okay.
subsection. Okay.
Subsection. Okay.
Let's say, okay, let's say this is heading, subheadings. Three are the subheadings. Okay. Similarly, so
Okay.
this is a bucket. This is a main bucket. This will have, these are three buckets. Okay. These buckets will have
Okay. Ah,
objects. What are the objects?
mm,
Objects are the user IDs. Okay.
ah,
And you have mentioned bulk users, right? So yes, it will have multiple
yeah.
users. Instead of saying like, bulk users, why I'm actually using the bulk, I'm not using the bulk is, so bulk is something like, let's say you create a single user here. Okay.
Mm,
When you add multiple users, right, then probably you
okay.
can call it as bulk. Like, when you're performing some activity, you wanted to delete some bulk,
Ah,
like let's say 100, 250, 300. So like that,
ah,
so then you can probably, so this will have like its own features. So probably we can discuss one by one. Okay.
mm.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one drive. In my previous company, there some users are getting GB, some users are getting even license 50 GB. Some users getting 100 GB storage. That one where we are giving in active users in subscriptions. In subscription
Uh,
option, we
can you
can
can you can you clarify
add
once again your question?
in my previous company from
Mm-hmm.
our backend we are getting some architecture result as per their designations.
Mm-hmm.
So for executive they will provide 2 GB storage.
Okay. So,
For managers they
uh,
are giving 50 GB.
same
Here
license,
where
right?
we can create
Same
yeah, yeah.
license, right?
In
That's a pool,
subscription that one
that could be
yes.
pool storage. Okay. I'm not sure if O365 has the pool storage.
How they are giving the access like for
So that's
users
not giving it. So it's like, so
where
when
they're
you watch, okay.
managing.
So I'll show you that. So this is for education actually. So the storage in the sense like how is it for OneDrive?
No, no, no. In mail, it is coming, right?
Mail, right?
50
Okay,
GB.
okay, okay,
In
okay, okay.
mail.
For mail, like you can
That
control in
one
this
where
section, like probably when you create an
in
user, you will get
subscription.
to know. So, no, 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 it's not in subscription. Like it's an account basis. Okay, subscription.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you assign a license, okay, whenever you assign a license, you will get all kind of whatever that product consists of. Like you'll get all the
Uh,
options. Okay, but pool storage is an option like wherein you can, let's say Microsoft keeps an target. Let's say you when you purchase some, you know uh, 10 licenses are like, kind of premium licenses that come, that
uh,
includes of 1 TB or 2 TB. So similarly,
uh,
if you purchase 10 users, you will be able to manage the storage, like storage in the sense, I don't want to give among 10 users, I can manage one user need only 10 GB, and remaining
mhm.
all the, out of 1 TB, probably I can use it from other users. That you do it on the user actually. Probably when you create, that option will store, because we have only test user, so this is a default account, this is not licensed, you see here. So you don't see any kind of options on this. So it is asking you to buy products. Okay, so
By product.
when you have the license, this is unlicensed now. When you have the license, you will see the options like, how to manage storage and this kind of stuff. But I
In
don't think
groups,
even that.
we are creating DL and all.
Yeah. Yes,
Distribution
yes,
list
yes,
where we
yes,
are
yeah,
creating
yeah,
in groups.
yes, in groups,
Okay, okay.
distribution security groups.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
DLs you
okay.
create in
Here
here.
we can give that uh, distribution list and some, one more is there.
The
DL and
distribution
one
list.
more.
So in the
Um,
distribution list, you'll have users actually. Okay, you need to give some
yeah.
who are managers and who are users. Okay, so under the
Yeah,
users,
yeah.
users only are eligible to receive the messages.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and
In
you'll
one
have
more
one
option
more
is there, right? DL and one more
shared
is which
mailbox,
one?
shared mailbox.
Share man.
So shared mailbox is something. Okay, you can probably convert the existing one, or like you can create a new one.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. So have more doubts, we'll connect tomorrow.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.